Okay, you are welcome to Corrosive Online Tutorials, where complex topics are made easy. In this video, I'll be talking about habitat. So to begin with, what is habitat? Now, an habitat is the dwelling place of an organism. The place where you find an organism carry out its life activities is what we call an habitat. Or better still, we can say habitat is a place within an ecosystem. It's a place within an ecosystem where an organism lives. A place within an ecosystem where an organism lives. Now there is a word I want to explain here. Look at this word. It's a big word. Ecosystem. What is ecosystem? The word ecosystem is an ecological terms, okay, that can be defined as a self-supporting unit that is made up of two parts, the living part and the non-living part. So an ecosystem consists of living parts and the non-living parts. Now the living part is called biotic, and the non-living part is called abiotic. Okay, but I will not spend my time on the ecosystem. In my next video, I will talk extensively more on the ecosystem. But in today's video, my focus is basically on the habitat and the classification of the habitat. Okay, so now having defined the habitat, now every living organisms, okay, when we look at them, they can come under two major habitats. That means the habitats can be broken down into two. Basically, the habitat can be broken down into two. Okay, the first one is the terrestrial habitat. That is organisms that lives on land. Organisms that lives on land. You have the terrestrial habitat. The next one you have the aquatic. The aquatic is organism that lives on water. Aqua is a Latin word for water. Okay, so the aquatic habitat. So there are two habitats basically: the terrestrial and the aquatic. Now, the terrestrial habitat is further divided into three. Okay, you have the forest, you have the grassland, and you have the arid land. You have the arid land. The word arid here means dry. And the difference between these three habitats is the amount of rainfall they receive and the type of vegetation you find. So the type of vegetation and rainfall differentiate these three habitats. Okay, now let's look at aquatic habitat. Under aquatic habitat, you have what is called wetland. You have wetland. Not only that, you have marine. Not only that, you have estuarine. Another word for estuarine is brackish. It's brackish. Another word for estuarine is brackish. Then you have fresh water. Fresh water. Now, these are the classification. These are the classification of habitat. Now, the wetland can still be broken down into two. You have marshes and swamp. You have marshes and you have swamp. Okay. Under the aquatic habitat, marine contain high amount of salt, okay, that dissolves in water. And in biology, we say salinity. Salinity. We use the word salinity to explain the amount of dissolved salt in water. Okay, here you have high salinity. Here you have almost zero salinity. Then in alkaline, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of marine and fresh water. In fact, it's a place where the marine and the fresh water meets. Okay, example of fresh water here, you have rivers and you can take lakes. Okay, then here where river meets the ocean is we call brackish. Where river meets the ocean it's called brackish. Because example of marine, you have ocean. There are different oceans, the Atlantic Oceans, the Pacific Oceans, the Indian Oceans. Okay, these are all example of marine. Okay, so where the river meets the ocean is called estuarine brackish. Okay, it's a special type of habitat. Okay, then the wetland, it could either be marine or freshwater. It come in different forms. It could either be marine or freshwater. And the wetland is consists of marshes and water and swamps. So in my next video, I'll be taking each of these habitat and we'll discuss it extensively. Thank you.